Greetings, dear friends. Professor Moriarty is with you. Today we will talk about how modern cartels launder billions of dollars. How HYDRA did it and how I do it.
Me. It will be very interesting.
You won't find such content anywhere else. I remind you that everything shown in the video is fiction and has nothing to do with reality. Watch it like a movie with a glass of good wine. What is money laundering for? We recently figured out how to protect yourself if you run a shady business. How to choose a country that won't give you away to law enforcement agencies. But it is important to understand that by choosing such a country and settling in it, it is necessary that your fabulous incomes can be explained so that they are white and do not associate you with illegal activities. Legend has it that the term money laundering appeared in the 20s of the 20th century, that is, 100 years ago, when the Italian mafia in the United States of America began to massively buy laundries to legalize their income. But I'm not here to tell you legends. Let's move on to more real things. The money that criminals manage to get to goes through a difficult route before reaching the final destination, the pocket of the cartel owner. In modern methods of money laundering, there are 3 stages. The first, accommodation. The money obtained illegally must be withdrawn into the legal financial system and done so that no one subsequently has any questions, and even more so the desire to check strange transactions. This can be achieved by dividing the total amount into many small and, as a consequence, inconspicuous in the general flow of banking transactions. Professional bankers in their circle call this stage smuffing. Historically, smurfs were called crowds of ordinary runners among methamphetamines who went to buy precursors for cooking in different places and in small volumes, so as you know, not to attract too much attention. Later, this term caught on among those who are engaged in laundering dirty money. The second, layering. The name of this stage tells us about the need to layer on top of each other as many different operations for the flow of money from one aggregate state to another. The more confusing the path of money turns out to be, the better. One of the best options is the purchase and sale of art objects. Let's say the auditors still visited you with a painful question. And where does so much money come from? To which you calmly explain how you once took a risk and bought a painting by an ultra-modern avant-garde artist, who later also left an ultra-fashionable, corresponding increase in the price of his work. Bought for 1,000, and sold for $1 million. So the love of modern art has helped you become richer by $1 million. By the way, the process of pseudo-sale to an anonymous millionaire lover of blots is the 3rd stage of laundering. Integration. Modern methods of money laundering, Bitcoin and NFT. I fully agree with those who believe that bringing bags of dirty cash back and forth is the last century. Why go somewhere live if you can just buy and resell pixel gibberish for several $1 million with a couple of clicks? But what if you need to launder hundreds of millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, bypassing all the quasi-ML checks? The simplest way that our native corrupt officials from the CIS countries are now using with might and main is the massive purchase of real estate for a crypto dollar for children in Dubai, Indonesia, Thailand, and Turkey, on various islands. The scheme is very simple. You have a certain amount of funds in bitcoins. Nowadays, there are a lot of mixers, as well as offices engaged in laundering dirty coins that are clearly not ready to undergo an ML check on crypto exchanges. Guys, for a certain percentage, let's take, for example, 2% when laundering 1 million rubles, they will be happy to provide you with a clean cue ball for a brand new wallet, which will eliminate the possibility of blocking your money when they are sent to the crypto exchange. It is worth choosing a crypto laundry from already proven dealers and, of course, always check the link in order to avoid getting into phishing. A wave of the magic wand and you already have clean bitcoins. Next, the criminals convert Bitcoin into US children, and then the money is used to buy apartments at the excavation stage in installments for the duration of construction. Without a bank, without checks. After the commissioning of the facility, its amount increases from 30 to 100%. And payment in installments smooths out eye-cutting amounts with an indecent number of zeros. After the completion of construction, the object is either leased or sold. Repeat this procedure enough times and voila. But you are no longer the head of a drug cartel, but an investor entrepreneur in real estate. This scheme is most relevant for Dubai and Turkey, because you can buy real estate there in your own name. For exotic countries like Thailand or Bali, the scheme is similar, but there are a number of nuances. You will not buy real estate for yourself anymore. Here the criminals will use either a drop or a firm to make a deal. Walrus in construction in Thailand reaches 400%. God himself ordered us to start building. The final illegal scheme, which I do not recommend, looks like this. Cash in Russia or crypt. Cash Thailand, company registration, purchase or lease of land, construction of a real estate object. There are also more refined schemes. They are hidden in the IT field. Few people know, but in Europe and the USA, a well-coordinated development studio that can make a product in a predictable time is already a great value. The cost of such studios varies from $3 to $30 million. And this is without a product. If there is a product running at zero, the amount increases. If the product makes a profit, the amount increases by a multiple. The scheme looks like this. You have cash. You are using it to build a studio of sound, enthusiastic and willing to earn good money from Russian developers. Hire them an intelligent marketer, manager, and create any product. Here everything already depends on your imagination and ability to evaluate the modern market. When the product is ready, you remove the metrics and count the unit economy, how much money the product will bring to the ruble invested. Depending on the results of the study, you set a price and sell the studio. With investments from $100,000 to $500,000 for developers' salaries, you get from $5 to $50 million after the sale of the studio. The same Hindu. Having presented myself to the world as a respectable businessman paying taxes, I do not recommend you to break the law. This is not welcome on YouTube. Don't do such things. According to my sources, cartel owners in a black suit and a mask launder money through banks. Each bank has off-balance sheet money, which he received in black, transferred to a cashless client and would like to launder them for himself and fix a profit. But I will tell the implementation of the scheme of criminals in my Telegram channel via the link in the description. Let's move on to the most interesting, HYDRA. Of course, everyone is wondering how much the former monopolist HYDRA earned and where did all these untold riches eventually go. You might have noticed a lot of similar headlines on the web, but they were all created to attract the maximum audience to your channel. No one has provided reliable information. I will correct this situation by having up-to-date data and insiders on hand. For the entire period of its activity, the three-headed creation earned about 35 billion rubles. And this is if we take into account only commissions, fines, and payment for placement on the main page. But how did they manage to launder such large sums, you ask? The main tool for laundering finances were the Garantex crypto exchange, the Mixer Blender AIOU, the wallets Blender Wallet AIO, and the HYDRA. Let me remind you that the AI Blender has sunk into oblivion at the same time as HYDRA, which eliminates all doubts about the tandem of these two projects. I'll tell you more, the Blender was HYDRA's project. Do you want a safe mixer that launders dirty money? Create your own. Everything is simple here. In addition to these large projects, a whole network of small exchangers was also involved, in conjunction with the mixer, finally confusing the trail. It would seem that having so much money on the part of the owners of the club would not open their legal business, in case one of them suddenly woke up one day and decided to start life with a clean slate. But the lack of fear and security and the desire to multiply dirty money into even larger amounts did its job. One of the white businesses was the production of precursors in Europe for subsequent export to Russia and the production of what do you think? Of course, the favorite product of HYDRA Alpha PvP. I have already told you about this in one of the previous videos. The rest of the money was spent on infrastructure support, an expensive yacht of one of the owners, and just for a bright and luxurious life. However, in April of the 21st year, all this unrestrained extravaganza came to an end. Users were informed that the German Special Services had seized the servers. The performance is over. The curtain. But one question remained unanswered. What did the owner of the Garantex crypto exchange, Russian entrepreneur Stanislav Drugolev, who was found dead in Dubai on February 7, 2021 year, know? Stanislav Drugolev's fall from a bridge at a road junction in Dubai is reported as the official cause of death. However, the events that led to the death of the businessman are still being investigated by law enforcement agencies. The location of Stanislav Drugolev's personal belongings and electronic devices is still unknown. The consequences of the closure of the three-headed marketplace affected another well-known Russian crypto exchange Suex. In September 2021 year, the U.S. Treasury for the first time in history imposed sanctions against the cryptocurrency exchanger, whose homeland is Russia. According to the U.S. authorities, the Suex team took an active part in money laundering of the HYDRA marketplace, against which the U.S. also imposed sanctions. $481 million have passed through the platform in 3 years. More than 40% of transactions on the platform are related to criminal activity, the agency added. Now you know how the money was laundered by the guys from HYDRA and what it eventually led to. People make mistakes, but over time these same mistakes turn into